That was weird.
Hey, boss.
Who are you?
The name's Nimona.
And how did you...
Whoa, yeah! Sick arm!
I'm Quane, one of the directors of Nimona.
How you doing? I'm Bruno, and this is Nimona with Scenes at the Academy.
Immediate shelter. Monster attack. Monster attack.
It's okay.
Seek immediate shelter.
We are so excited to share two of the most pivotal and emotional scenes of our film.
Monster.
This particular scene was a difficult one for Troy and I.
Are you okay?
I don't want to talk about it.
This was one of the first scenes we wrote. We knew that this was going to be foundational to the journey of this character and ultimately the themes of this film. And it's this idea of this powerful, shape-shifting character who could be anything she wants. But at the end of the day, all she wants is to be seen and accepted. And yet she lives in a kingdom where all of the hidden messaging and overt messaging is kill anything different, kill anything monstrous.
Did you see the way that little girl looked at me?
You see over her shoulder, Ballister taking that in, and you see his shoulders drop, you see his head drop, and you realize he's hearing this and feeling culpable.
They grew up believing that they can be a hero if they drive a sword into the heart of anything different.
He was one of those people who thought, if I could just become a knight, if I could fight a monster, this kingdom that has kind of turned its back on me will accept me as well. And in that moment, he's feeling the weight and the guilt and the truth in Nimona's words.
And I'm the monster?
The graphic novel has connected with so many people because of the LGBTQ plus themes. And when we started working on this movie, we knew we were gonna shine a light on that.
I know something's wrong.
I said I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, I'm just trying to help.
I don't need your help!
This is such an important scene. It's where Ballister and Nimona's thematic philosophies change hands. For the whole movie, Ballister's been saying, if I can get back to the Institute and they see me as a knight, they'll accept me. You know, and Nimona's like, once people have made their mind up about you, there's nothing you can do. You just are the thing they see you as.
They only see you one way, no matter how hard you try.
And that's been their sort of thematic argument all the way through to the movie at this point. And it's at this moment where Ballister gives in. He says, you're right. I've been fighting it, but you've been right all along.
You were right about everything. The Institute, the wall. Ambrosius. No matter what we do, we can't change the way people see us.
For Nimona, now here's someone who's changed their mind on her.
You changed the way you see me,
And if that's possible,
didn't you?
maybe more is possible. Maybe we could change more minds. And so you watch in what starts as this incredibly somber, introspective scene, pick up an energy and a sense of hope and a sense of purpose between these two characters who flopped thematically during this conversation.
We shouldn't have to run. And you made a deal, right? We clear your name, you make me your sidekick. And you can't back out on a deal because you believe in truth and honor and blah, 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 all that stupid stuff.
Truth and honor aren't stupid, but all right.
One of the greatest things about animation is you have control over everything. And it's so much fun to animate and move things around. And if you look closely in this scene, we didn't do any of that. Because this scene, we wanted you to listen. If you watch, you see there's a little bit of energy that carries through what was a crazy sequence before. These characters come to a standstill and they just talk.
I don't know what's scarier. The fact that everyone in this kingdom wants to run a sword through my heart. Or that sometimes I just want to let them.
Our instructions to animators were do nothing, which is really hard to do sometimes. Same thing with the cameras. Our goal is for you to listen to these characters. It was really important for them to hit the right pose, the right feeling, see some thought process in their eyes to really make sure that the emotions coming across that they're thinking, they're actively listening.
Now, we talk about shadow and light a lot in this movie, and we very purposefully put this one shaft of light coming in from the ceiling between them at the beginning of the sequence. They're both still in the shadow, separated by this sense of acceptance. And it's not until Ballister goes over to the shelf, he turns on that light after he said together.
Together?
Suddenly this monochromatic scene shifts to one with more color. And they both step forward into that colorful light as this idea of them coming together, them accepting each other, them becoming a team.
So, you got a plan?
Of course I got a plan. Something, something, something.
We win.
I've been a professional artist for 20 years. This is the thing I'm most proud of being a part of, is this one scene. I'm proud of all the people that we worked with to put this together. We strive for authenticity, and we were moved by so many people just saying that at some point, when life is hard, when you've been an outsider for so long, sometimes it's so hard to move on with life. We were afraid as directors to go there. This is still a family movie. And it was like, is that okay? Can you do that? It seems very heavy. But every time we didn't do it, somebody was saying that you're missing a big part of that truth. And when we did do it, it brought us to tears, to be very honest.
The statue of Glorith with sword outstretched for the whole movie has been a symbol of being a hero. And in this one moment, Ballister shows the kingdom what it means to truly be a hero, not with a sword outstretched. In fact, he throws his sword away, but with a hand outstretched and a quest for forgiveness.
I'm sorry.
He does that in front of everybody, and it was important for us to hear those words echoed
I'm sorry.
on the Jumbotron so the populace could hear the conversation. There's very few words in this entire sequence. In fact, it plays musically for the most part. Incredible score by Christoph Beck.
Both Chloe Grace Moretz and Riz Ahmed, they really were truly the heart and soul of this film.
I'm sorry.
The big reason why we chose them is because they, in their own communities, are fighting for acceptance.
What are you?
I'm Nimona.
They came in and they didn't just make their characters fun and deliver good acting performances.
It's Ballister Boldheart! Grr! Roar! Rah, rah, rah.
They truly knew the source material
Nimona!
What's it all really for?
and what we were all trying to say because they've lived it, they've felt it, and I think that really comes across.
We see the little girl who had originally held the sword up to Nimona in the crowd, taking a tentative step from the shadow that she's in. And when she sees Nimona transforming, she steps fully out of that shadow, and she becomes the proxy for this idea of we're not hiding anymore. We're not afraid of what we saw as different. We're getting to see Nimona in a new light because of Ballister's actions. It allows her to step forward in light and understand what's really happening. Color is such an important part of our storytelling, and some people catch it, some people don't, but the more accepted Nimona feels, the more of her color we allow into the world, the more color we filter into every frame. And in this sequence, as Nimona's giving up hope, the less hope she has, the more we pull color from the frame until that one moment when she's at her lowest and she's yelling to the sky and moving toward that sword. We literally go black and white. All color comes out of the film just to help push forward that idea of where Nimona is emotionally.
We know how important scenes like this are for kids who feel misunderstood, who feel like on the outside of their own kingdom, to just tell them they're not alone.
From the very first moment Ballister meets Nimona, he's asking, "What are you?" And she keeps saying, "I'm Nimona." All she wants is to be recognized for who she is. She doesn't want to explain herself. Ballister, for the first time in this journey, in this story, does actually see her for who she is, for how she wants to be seen. And in that acceptance, he calls her by her name.
I see you, Nimona. And you're not alone.